To be a man in the 41st millennium is to be one amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable. My name is unimportant. I am a voice in the dark, a recording etched onto a data crystal before the fire consumes this world. If you are hearing this, you are likely standing upon the bones of an empire that forgot how to dream. Forget the power of technology and science, for so much has been forgotten, never to be relearned. Forget the promise of progress and understanding, for in the grimdark future there is only war. There is no peace amongst the stars, only an eternity of carnage and slaughter, and the laughter of thirsting gods. Sound, the heavy rhythmic thrum of a planetary macro engine. Low, mournful choral chanting fades in and out beneath the hiss of static. Look at the map of our galaxy. It is a wound. The great rift, the cicatrix maledictum, has torn reality in two. It is a jagged scar of purple fire that bleeds the raw essence of the warp into our sky. On one side, the light of the Astronomican, the psychic beacon of our God-Emperor, still flickers. On the other, the Imperium nihilus, where worlds scream in total isolation, devoured by horrors we lack the words to describe. At the center of this rot sits Holy Terra, a world city covered in miles of Gothic iron and industrial filth. And at the heart of Terra, the golden throne. Upon it sits a rotting carcass, held in a state of living death by the daily sacrifice of 1,000 psychic souls. He is the master of mankind, and he is a silent king. He has not spoken in 10,000 years, yet his will is the only thing holding the veil of reality together. We are a species of trillions, all serving a God who cannot answer our prayers, but whose silence is the only thing preventing our extinction. Sound, the distant earth-shaking footsteps of a titan. We are told we are the masters of the stars, but we are cattle. Consider the life of a hive citizen. You are born in the dark, in a manufacturum block where the air is recycled through the lungs of the dead. You work 18 hours a day, assembling the casing for a bolt shell you will never see fired. You eat nutrient paste rendered from the remains of your ancestors. If you whisper a word of dissent, the Inquisition will find you. If you show a hint of mutation, the enforcers will purge you. The Imperium does not love you, it uses you. You are a single gear in a machine so vast and so broken that it no longer remembers its original purpose. But the alternative is worse. Beyond the flickering light of our guttering candles, the shadows are moving. First, there are the traitor legions. 10,000 years ago, the Emperor's most beloved son, Horus Lupercal, turned his back on his father. He took half the Space Marine legions with him and set the galaxy on fire. That war never ended. The traitors fled into the Eye of Terror, where time has no meaning. They emerge now as twisted caricatures of their former glory, draped in the skins of their victims, serving the ruinous powers. Khorne, the god of blood, Tzeentch, the architect of fate, Nurgle, the lord of decay, Slaanesh, the prince of excess. These are not just gods, they are our own sins made manifest. They are the hunger in our bellies and the hate in our hearts reflected back at us from the warp. Sound, the chittering of millions of insects. And then there are the Xenos. From the cold void beyond the galaxy comes the great devourer, the Tyranids. They are not a race, they are a biological hunger. They do not want our gold, our land, or our souls. They want our biomass. When a Hive fleet descends, it does not just conquer, it harvests. Every blade of grass, every drop of water, every human heart is consumed and processed into nutrient soup to feed the swarm. They are the silence that follows the scream. From the depths of the earth, the Necrons are waking, ancient skeletal machines made of living metal. They owned the galaxy 60 million years ago, and they view us as vermin squatting in their ruins. Their weapons do not just kill, they flay the very atoms from your bones. They have no souls, no mercy, and no end. From the fringes, the Tau preach their greater good. They offer technology and prosperity, but it is a velvet glove over an iron fist. They are young, naive, and they do not yet realize that the galaxy is a bonfire that consumes everything it touches. And the Orks, the green tide, they are the only ones who are happy in this age of madness. They do not fear death, for they were bred for war. To an Ork, a battlefield is a playground. They are a fungal plague that cannot be purged, a relentless force of violence that grows stronger with every blow you strike. Sound, the roar of a bolter, explosive, heavy, and rhythmic. Who stands against this darkness? The Adeptus Astartes, the Space Marines. They are the Emperor's ultimate weapon. Gene-forged superhumans, their bodies rebuilt with 19 supernatural organs, their minds conditioned to know fear. When a Space Marine enters the fray, he is not a soldier, he is a force of nature. Encased in ceramite power armor and wielding the bolter, they are the thin line between humanity and the abyss. But they are few, 1,000,000 warriors in a galaxy of 1,000,000,000 worlds. They are surgical strikes in a war that requires a hammer. The heavy lifting is done by the Astra Militarum, the Imperial Guard, ordinary men and women armed with las guns and cardboard-thick flak armor. They are the meat in the grinder. They are the billions who stand in the mud against 10-foot-tall monsters and hold the line, not because they are brave, but because they have nowhere else to go. They die in the millions every single day, their names forgotten before their bodies are even cold. Sound, a mournful violin melody, low and haunting. We live in the age of the Dark Imperium. Reboot Gut Yelin, the last loyal son, has returned from the dead to find his father's empire a rotting, superstitious wreck. He has launched the Indomitus Crusade to reclaim the stars, bringing with him the new Primaris Marines. It is a grand gesture, a flicker of light in a darkening room, but even a Primarch cannot be everywhere. Even a godson cannot stop the clock. The clock is at 1 second to midnight. The pylons of Cadia have fallen. The Golden Throne is failing. The Necron dynasties are uniting. The Tyranid hive mind is turning its full attention towards Terra. In this universe, there are no happy endings. There is no grand victory waiting at the end of the struggle. There is only the struggle itself. To be a hero in the 41st millennium is to stand your ground when all hope is lost, to fire your last round into the face of a god, and to die with your boots on. We are the candle end of humanity, flickering in a hurricane. We hate, we kill, we pray, and we endure. Not because we believe we can win, but because the human spirit is too stubborn to simply lay down and die. Sound. The macro engines begin to fail. The thrumming slows down to a heavy, metallic groan. My time is done. The sensors show the first drop pods hitting the atmosphere. They aren't ours. The air smells of ozone and ancient dust. If you find this record, tell them we didn't blink. Tell them that on this forgotten rock, in this forgotten year, the light of humanity burned for one more second.
The darkness is coming. It is vast, and it is cold, and it is hungry. But for now, for just one more moment, we are still here. Sound, a massive explosion. The recording dissolves into white noise. A final, whispered voice. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.